Alright guys, this is Sinkat, physical therapist at SureCare Therapy and Wellness, and this Friday we have got the topic for traveling tips. So as the holiday season are coming and everybody is traveling either by flight or by car, so I wanted to talk about the topic which involved the back or neck pain while you're traveling. Okay, so these are the tips that you have to consider if you have any back or neck pain in the past, if you had it, or currently you have it. Because if you follow the steps, that might help you to avoid any future pain. Because many times we get a patient after traveling, they hurt their back or their pain aggravated after the traveling. Okay, so these are the tips that you need to follow. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about two different things. One, if you're traveling by plane, okay, or if you're driving. So let's say you're traveling by the plane. So of course you need to pack light. If you know that you have an issue with the back or neck pain, or you have a history of back or neck pain, you need to travel light. Do not carry too much stuff in your backpack or handbag, okay? Because I have seen many times in the airport when someone is carrying a backpack like this, okay, and when they're using this, and by the way, this backpack is a good option for back pain people, but if they wear lightly. Usually it's a good idea to get this belt around it like this, because when you do this, it kind of helps to distribute the weight when you do this one, okay? So it helps your back pain. So as you notice, my posture is good, but if you put too much stuff in your back, your posture most probably is gonna be like this, okay? So you're hyperextending your back because the weight of the bag and the things in the bag are too much. So you need to make sure you don't put too much stuff in the back. Now, of course, this is a kind of a laptop bag, so it might be light. Now, the handbag, what I would suggest is that you need to make sure the handbag is nice and rolling back, 360, okay? So as you can see, should be more like a 360 bag, so in that way you're not dragging, because sometimes if it's just like in a two-wheel drive like this, that's also not good. So make sure this one is rolling four-wheel 360. That helps a lot. Okay, another tip when you're carrying the luggage, many times I know when you're traveling through the plane, you're always in a rush. You're always passing through the security, going through the crowd and trying to get your seat and trying to put the bag in the airport bin. So take a time, okay? Plan ahead of time. Avoid those things. And again, the most important thing is how to carry it. Now let's say you got the wheels, you're gonna roll it. But what about putting on the bin? How are you gonna do that? Many times what I've seen people doing is, you can see in this picture as well, but I'm just going to show you as well. So here, as you see, they just go like this and put it like this, okay? So if you notice here, my back, I'm using my back, which is not good. What you need to do, many bag also has a handle on the side like this, okay? Use that. So what you need to do, bend your knees, okay? Hold this like this, so you see I'm using my lower leg, my hip, my knee, not so much back, like this, and go like this. From here to like this, okay? So I'm not only using my one hand, I'm using my both hand. So I'm using like this, okay? That helps with the neck pain. So if I'm just using my one hand, and if you have a neck pain, it's gonna interfere with your neck pain. But when you're using both hands, it's gonna distribute the weight properly, and you will be able to put it properly. And again, as I said, don't bend from the back, as everybody knows by this time that always lean forward with the bent knee. Okay, so always make sure you do the right thing, but when you're in a rush, you forget. Okay, so these tips will help you with that. Now, let's say selecting the seats. If you have a choice, ahead of time, select your seats. My choice is either aisle. The first choice is like seats with the big leg room, so you can stretch it, you can stand up, you can work a little bit. But if you don't get that, then at least try to get the aisle one so you can get up, you can stretch your leg on the side. Okay, so those are the preference, either aisle sit or the sit with the big leg room. Okay, so once you sit down, then what? Let's say you have a long flight, 4 or 5 hours of flight, 3-4 hours flight. What are you gonna do? So you need to carry a right thing with you. Okay, so if you have a neck pain, neck pillow is must. You need to make sure your neck pillow is there to make sure you support your neck, and also throughout the time when you're going through, like it's about 1 hour, 2 hour, just stretch your neck a little bit. Okay, so if you're having issue with your neck pain, so the simple stretching is just like, go side, make sure your shoulder is down, depress. Okay, don't go like this. Okay, so your shoulder is down. You can use this other hand, or simply you can just go like this, like hold it and relax. Same way on the other side, and relax. Okay, other one is the chin tuck. Okay, so you're gliding your chin. Okay, then rotation, slowly turn left. Don't move your torso, don't go like this. Okay, just the head. Just making sure, look who's next to you, who's sitting next to you. Just go left, go light. Okay, so those are the neck movement. Okay, but anyhow, regardless who's sitting next to you, but the stretching helps you. You don't need to be feeling awkward when you sit down and do that. If you're too close, you can stand up. When you're walking a little bit, you can do that. Okay, so at your own discretion, like whatever you want to do. Okay, but stretching is important. Okay, so every 1 or 2 hours, stretch that way. Okay, you can roll the shoulders. That helps you with your trapezius too, because that trapezius gets really tight. Okay, so that's for the neck. For the back, my suggestion is if you can get that inflatable lumbar pillow or something, if you can carry with you to support your lower back, because the seats are very, very narrow. You don't have much space there, so you have to really buy lumbar pillow or any support very, very cautiously, because if you get the bulky one, just the regular one, that might not feel good, because that might give you too much pressure and the seats is not that comfortable or big to support that. So, but it is advisable to do that. Also, some of the exercise that you can do is stretch your leg and kind of just lean forward to stretch your hamstring. Okay, one side and the other side. This helps if your seat has a larger leg room, so you can do all those things. Okay, leaning forward and backward, stretch your lower back. Okay, of going on the side like this, you hold the handle and stretch on the side, the other side. Okay, again, if you're sitting on an aisle, you can easily do on the left side or right side. Okay, so at least you can do proper stretching when you have a right seat. Okay, so these are the tips for flying through the plane. Okay, now what if you're traveling through the car? What if you're going in the car? So if you're traveling through the car, my suggestion is you need to stop at least every couple of hours. You need to get out of the car at least every couple of hours. Stretch yourself. Okay, stretch your glutes, just like up and down like this. Okay, you can use your one hand, hold your lumbar. Okay, hold your lumbar and go like this. Okay, same way, other side. Okay, if you have any bench or anything, if you're outside on the gas station or something, you can put your leg on this one and then you can stretch it like that. Okay, so you can stretch it. Other tip is change your backrest setting. Every car, the front seat, you can adjust the adjustment of the seat. Okay, so what happened is the simple rule. When you are in one position, you're constantly putting the pressure on one spot. Okay, it's a simple gravity. Like I can hold this bag. Okay, it's pretty light right now because it's empty. There's nothing in it right now, so you can hold it. But ask me to hold it for about half an hour. That would be a problem. Okay, so the reason is the gravity. The gravity keep on pushing on it. Same way when you're sitting in the car and then you're in one position, the pressure is in the same spot. Like for example, when you sit down, the pressure is maximum at L3, L4 or L4, L5. So you need to change that pressure. So how do you do that? So let's say your back rest setting is whatever the angle you were in the first place. Change it to go a little more back. When you do that, you're shifting the gravity. Okay, so when you periodically do it, and every couple of hours, make sure you take a stop. Every half an hour, change the backrest. Okay, you don't need to exactly do it every time. This one is mainly if your back is hurting. Okay, it will really help you. Okay, in normal individual, normally you don't need to do this frequently. It is still advisable to take a frequent break, and it is advisable that you have a proper lumbar support. But doing the car the seat setting, you need to change it, or getting out every couple of hours is for the people who are actively having a back pain or who have a history of recurrent back pain. Okay, so that's one of the tips for the traveling through the car. Again, same technique. When you're putting the luggage in your car, in a rush we forget, always lift through your leg, not through the back. Okay, stretching, as I mentioned, when you get out, you can do it. While you're driving, you don't need to do it. Do not get distracted while you're driving. Okay, so yeah, those are the tips for driving through the car, or if you're traveling through the plane. But do make sure to take care of your back in this holiday season, because believe me, in January we get a lot of patients with the back and neck pain, and this is our data. So we know that during the holiday season we forget to take care of ourselves because we're busy in families. Okay, so do make sure to follow the ergonomics. If you are my patient, if I have treated you in the past, you must have heard all these instructions from me, because I'm a big believer of a posture. I'm a big believer of the habits. If you adapt the good habits, that will go long term. Okay, so do make sure to follow all the instructions. You all have a happy holidays, and I wish you a safe holiday. If you have any question, any inquiry, any consultation is needed, we're always here. Our phone number is 469-212-8888, and our website is surecurewellness.com, SURECURE wellness.com, and our address is 4541 North Josie Lane, Suite 130, Carrollton, Texas 75010. Just call us, messages on the Facebook. There is a web form on our website. You can fill out your question. I always like to help people. If you have any question, feel free to reach out to us. All right, you all have a happy holiday, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.